Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health Radio and TV. I'm your host, Sara Banta. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, and a busy mom of three. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you're notified every week with my new podcasts on Mondays and Tuesdays. And if you haven't already, join my free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. There's no downside. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health. You will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey, in addition to truly taking control of your health. Today, we are talking about essential oils, and Jess Frandson is the co-founder of the Next Level Essential Oil Modern Aromatherapy brand Campo. She has over 20 years of marketing and branding experience with the non-toxic cleaning company Simple Green, which I'm sure all of you use, where she worked closely with R&D to develop natural scent stories for their products and brought them to market. Welcome, Jess. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm super excited because obviously essential oils are in the natural realm of health, and it's I kind of put it over there because I don't know the science behind it. I know they work. I've used them, and I was actually listening to Andrew Huberman this week, who's a scientist from Stanford. Huge following for podcasting, and anyone who listened to podcasts probably listens to Andrew. But he was talking about headaches this week, and he started talking about things that work. And then he said, I started doing some research on the essential oils. I was very hesitant. I kind of had, sarcastic view of them. And he said, surprisingly, there's a lot of science behind it. And for him to say that speaks volumes to what goes into the essential oils and how they work, and that is black and white. It's not just about foo stuff. There is science behind it. But let's start out with what are essential oils?
So essential oils are literally the essence of the plants. It's just pure natural plant essence. It's the oils from the plants. It's that simple.
Okay. And how did you come about getting into essential oils and your journey behind it? I know where you worked at Simple Green and all, but what took you into wanting to create your own company? Obviously, there's some other companies out there that we all know, but what was it that you wanted to do differently?
So it really came out of necessity. And I'm a little bit of a serial entrepreneurial. I take after my family business. I think it was just inherent when you're in that environment. So with that, it gave me the opportunity to look at things through a different lens. So it's not necessarily about creating something new, but it's about revisiting things that have worked. How can we improve upon those systems, rituals, what have you? And so what happened is a really fun story. It's very near and dear to my heart. I went back to Texas to visit my longtime childhood friend. And when I was unpacking, getting settled in her home, she saw me putting out my perfume and my little mini apothecary. And she's like, oh my gosh, I have the same perfume. And then she opens up this cabinet, and from floor to ceiling, it's filled with essential oils. So that night, after, getting, back to getting to know each other and catching up, we started reimagining why essential oils couldn't be different. Well, let's bring them modern. And we were like, why do they have to be in a brown tincture bottle? Why do they have to smell stinky? Just kind of all these things that had the stigma that was, wrapped around essential oils. They'd been kind of stuffed in the crunchy aisle in the very back of, either a health food store. And that was basically the way people were experiencing essential oils, is either you were being invited to Aunt Sally's house for some kind of pressure cooker environment where you left with several $100s worth of oils, and you maybe get home and say, now what do I do with it? Or maybe you were seeking out essential oils and you go to a natural store, and the experience would typically be an A or an F. You'd either get someone really knowledgeable that knew their stuff that could help you with this journey, or you get someone who really didn't know anything. And again, we found you would leave these two environments with, hundreds of dollars of essential oils, but really with no one to help guide you and teach you how to use these essential oils. And, the beauty of plant medicine is it's been around for literally, hundreds and actually thousands of years, dating back to the ancient Egypt. And they used it everything from medicinal purposes to makeup to enhance, perfume. So we really wanted to take essential oils and bring them forward. We wanted to take the ancient rituals of aromatherapy and also the art of making perfume, because we felt that we could take away that stigma of like that stinky kind of patchouli smelling that I think everybody, when you think of essential oils, you either think of lavender or you think of patchouli. And so if you smell patchouli and you don't like it, again, that's an A or an F experience. And believe me, there's some beautiful patchouli. And my whole life, I didn't even know I liked patchouli because that was my first experience. I'm a daughter of a little hippie, and, growing up in Laguna Beach, I definitely had exposure to a lot of those experiences as a young child. So I want to take those experiences and mesh them with Jill when we were talking about it. And Jill was very fond of essential oils. In fact, she dusted off this journal that she had from back in college. And even when she was pregnant with her twins, she had this recipe that she'd made of with beautiful carrier oils and all these beautiful essentials to help her so she didn't get stretch marks, and to just help soothe her because she was on bed rest for like almost the entire pregnancy. So it was twofold when she was creating her, first little batch of essential oils. So together we collectively just started really thinking about, and we lovingly like to say, what would it look like if Tom Ford and Apple had an essential oil baby? It would be clean, modern, intuitive, have knockout healing powers, smell intoxicating, be jet set ready, portable. You could take it to and from work, take it around your home, take it when you're traveling. So these are the boxes that we felt we wanted to check off for ourselves. And also we felt that it would be approachable luxury because we wanted to take the very best top shelf ingredients and then pre-blend them. So instead of having to buy a bottle of lavender, a bottle of eucalyptus, a bottle of frankincense, on and on and on to create an ethos, we wanted to be able to take, say, 4 to 5 different, single notes, which would be the pure essence. So say lavender would be a single note. We would take all these single notes and we would blend them together in a really meaningful way so that it would get the ethos that we wanted to create for ourselves. So when we started thinking about what we needed in our own lives, we looked at each other and we're like, we need more energy. We need to have more focus. We need to relax and sleep. So those were the 4 daily rituals that we founded our company on. And we really felt like if you walked up to anybody universally and you said, do you need more energy? Do you need to focus? Do you need to relax? Do you need to sleep? Who could say no to those things? So that's what really sparked, our interest in wanting to do this together. And it was really fun. It was almost like a love letter between Jill and I, because she was based in Texas. I was based in California. And we nailed down the 4 ethos we wanted. But then it was like a big exploration. And we took over a year really sourcing all of our ingredients globally. And that's how we came up with our name, Campo Beauty, is because Campo means field or countryside in Italian and Spanish. So we literally scour the globe for the most beautiful essential oils, and we bring them back to the States where we blend them. The other piece that we thought was really important and missing is that we wanted people to go ahead, be able to buy essential oils in places that they were comfortable. And a big part of our audience is a female audience, although, essentials are universally, loved and enjoyed. And Campo is definitely for, everyone, all walks of life. We wanted essential oils, our Campo, to be accessible in beauty departments, in home departments, places where people are already shopping and comfortable, and then they could have that experience. And we wanted it to be so straightforward. So the 4 daily rituals, again, that we came up with was energy, focus, relax, and sleep. And it really just spells it out for you. The ingredients are in the front. It tells you what it's going to do for you. It's literally right between the eyes. So that's how we really launched the company. And, you think that all lavenders are created equal. That's not true. Same with orange blossom neroli. And we use really top shelf ingredients, which if you look at, we can get into many different ways why Campo is different than a lot of other brands out there. but one that's very important. And we believe that everything that we do has intention and purpose. So starting with the ingredients, that's the most important piece for us, is that we source the most beautiful, 100% natural. They smell absolutely intoxicating, because we felt that if it smelled beautiful, then you'd be more apt to include these rituals into your daily lives. If it smells like a stinker, you're really like, oh, it's like taking bad medicine. We wanted this to be a really joyful experience that you would enhance your life on a daily basis.
Well, you just touched on something that I have in the supplement business, you have to be very careful of and very wary of, especially in the last 2 years. A lot of companies are cheapening their sources and in their ingredients because costs have gone up so high. And so that is something that I am very specific about, with making sure that my ingredients are only the top of the top, and to sacrifice price for it, because that's your reputation. People eventually figure out what you are selling them, and they're not going to come back for that second trip if you're not giving them the best of the best. So I definitely wanted to touch on that. But also, people wear perfume and they wear it. I'm a thyroid expert. They wear it. It's toxic. It's on their neck. It's directly hitting their thyroid, and they wonder why they have hypothyroidism. So let's get into the fragrant oil versus essential oil. And then also, what are we doing when we're putting those toxic things directly on the master endocrine gland?
Right. Those are really good points that you bring up. I have hypothyroid, so I'm very aware of these. These touch very deeply with me as well. So when we talk about the art of making perfume, Campo smells so intoxicating, but the main difference between a scent and a fragrance, in a general rule of thumb, is that a scent is typically natural and from nature. A fragrance is manufactured, and it is full of synthetics. So when you see the word scent, it should mean that it's natural and it's made from nature. Whereas for a fragrance, it could be a kiwi ocean. What is kiwi ocean? That's not a real scent. So that's the real basic rule of thumb in terms of scent versus fragrance. And with what you'll notice with Campo is that because it's natural, you have to reapply it over and over. If you want it to wear like a perfume is going to stick to you like glue. And it's, there's a reason why it stays with you, throughout the day. Or if you hug someone and you're like, oh, I smell like this. I smell like Aunt Sally now, So we feel that that's actually a beautiful thing. And it's just really an education piece. It's like when you buy fresh fruit, it shouldn't last for 2 months in your refrigerator. It should last a couple days. So it's just education. I think as people come along on this ride and they start to experience what things should really smell like, it's hard to go back.
Absolutely. And can you just touch on what is aromatherapy, and is there something to it? Because, a lot of people think about, I'm supposed to breathe this in and it's going to help me sleep, or what have you. And it just seems a little woo-woo for a lot of people. And like I mentioned, there is science behind it.
Correct. And one thing I want to touch on at some point, I don't want to forget, is our relationship with Hoag Hospital. So we have some really great people in our corner that support what we're doing. And we're actually getting ready to do another study, which is very exciting. So I want to touch on that at some point today if we have time. With essential oils and forgive me. Aromatherapy. Okay. So think about right now, if I said, what does a rose smell like? Everybody listening right now could imagine and conjure up what a rose smells like. If you went into a garden and smelled a rose for the first time, you don't forget. And right now, even though we don't have a rose in front of us, we can all conjure up that scent right now. So basically, aromatherapy and the way it affects you, there's two basic ways to enjoy aromatherapy. You can either inhale it, and so the molecules are going to come up and through your olfactory and then get into your bloodstream. Or you can put it on dermally and it's going to absorb through your skin. So those are the two basic ways that we recommend enjoying essential oils. There is a third, which people can ingest it, but that's not something that we subscribe to. So with that in mind, thinking about that, it's connecting, and your olfactory is one of your most primal senses, and it connects to some memory, some of the deepest parts of your brain. So that is really what essential oils are doing. It's getting into you can either, breathe in, and it's coming in through your olfactory, you're smelling it, and it's the plant medicine. It's in these oils that are stimulating the nervous system and the olfactory, connecting to the brain, and then it's connecting to a memory and sometime emotion, or it can trigger a feeling, it can take you to a place. So again, if we have more time, one of the things that we like to talk about with essential oils is it can transport you to a place and then transform you. So not only is it the plant medicine that's healing you internally, like a vitamin, it's nutrition for your body, right? You're not ingesting it, but it's getting into your bloodstream nevertheless, and it's nutrition for your body. So that's how we like to think of aromatherapy.
Well, let's expand on that. I mean, I was just talking about caffeine and how, if you really think about it, the first time you had your cup of coffee, did you really like the taste of it? No, coffee tastes bitter, but it's the association of
Mhm.
how it makes you feel. And if you pair that with an activity like working out or sitting down to do your homework, you're going to start enjoying or looking forward to that activity because of the association with the feeling of the energy increase. So with that, you're connecting your sense of smell to that feeling, to that memory, and then it's triggering a response in the brain.
Correct.
Gotcha. Um, well, let's talk about Hoag Hospital and what you're seeing with them.
So we started a relationship with Hoag I think about 4 years ago, and it started with Foothill Ranch. They wanted to reimagine what medicine, what health could look like, and so they took an environment. It was like an old Jenny's Fabric, so about a 40,000 square foot facility, but it was where people work, live, shop. And instead of having to go to a high rise where it felt very medicinal and clinical, they wanted people to come into a space that had like oak wood floors and high ceilings and natural light. And under one roof, you could have pediatrics, you could have rehabilitation for, injuries, just you name it, everything that you could think of under one roof. And so they approached us because one thing that was really important to Hoag is they wanted to have aromatherapy piece of this. And so they did their due diligence and they found us. And so it's just been such an incredible partnership. So they literally let me Jill and I designed a floor to ceiling about 20 lineal feet of an aromatherapy bar. So when people are coming in for any of their different treatments, they can experience aromatherapy, learn more about Campo. So it's all right there for them. So that was our first opportunity. And from there, I mean, it literally is a Hoag family. They've been so kind to us. And then the next opportunity was they were opening up a 12 birthing suite unit in Irvine. The Fudge family underwrote this beautiful facility. And again, they wanted to reimagine what the experience of having a baby could be like. Instead of it being medicinal and bright lights and all this, they wanted it to feel like you were walking into a hotel and you were a guest at a hotel, and here's your suite, and there's walk-in rain showers, and they thought about the whole family, the husband, what are the needs of the husband. And one of the things they wanted to do was create that environment where when they came in, the first thing they wanted to do is put them at ease, make them relax. So they let us come up with a protocol, and it's the RBR, which is relax, breathe, receive, so that when the women would come in to deliver, they had the opportunity, if they wanted to, incorporate essential oils into their birth plan. So that was another real exciting time working with the head nurse and the head doctor and the team over at Hoag. So that was really fun. And from there, they invited us to John Wayne Airport, where they have a place called Flywell. So when people are, running to and from their flights, if they're feeling anxious, if they're feeling under the weather, they can come into this space, and we have another aromatherapy bar. There's virtual reality to help calm people. They can transport themselves to being underwater or on a countryside or laying on a beach somewhere. And then you have your Campo essential oils to complement that whole experience. So that was another opportunity we had with them. And then most recently, I was approached, and I'll probably just keep this kind of high level because we haven't announced anything yet, but we are looking at what are the effects of essential oils pre and post operation. So what can you do to help basically relax a patient, help with nausea, help with pain management. So those are the high level benchmarks that we're going to help test, and we'll have results for that probably within the next 6 months.
That's exciting. What I like what you're saying is before I haven't really gotten into essential oils because I feel like you need to know the power of this one and put them in combination. But it sounds like your company's done that work for us. So all we need to know is that, oh, this is the one for relaxation. This is the one for headaches. This is the one for energy. Am I correct?
Correct. It's exactly right. And so one of the things, the approach that Jill and I had when we started this, so let's say, for example, it was energy. We looked at potentially any essential oil that could give us the benefit of having a stimulation, something that was uplifting. And so we created this funnel and we looked at, everything possible, what could be a stimulating, uplifting type of essential oil. Then we looked at it from another perspective. We're like, okay, what of all of those, what ones smell good? What would we be attracted to? So then it got a little bit smaller. Then we looked at it from what is most universally accepted, what's not going to have reactions. So what would be the safest to basically blend and put together? And that's how we kind of start to come up with the opportunity of what could be put into these blends. And then once we have kind of our finalists present, then we start blending with a perfume kind of point of view with a top, middle, base note so that it has complexity. So the top note's going to smell really beautiful and bright. Then you've got the middle base note and the middle note, and then your base note that lingers and kind of stays with you. So that's how we approach making the essential oils. And what we thought was really important as well is making this approachable luxury. So you're getting the very, very best, but you're not having to go out and spend hundreds of dollars. If you lined up all the essential oils that went into one of our blends, it would literally be hundreds of dollars, but you can get it for literally a fraction of that. We have two sizes. We have a 5 ml and a 15 ml, and they're just really approachable at the price points. The other thing that we did in terms of our delivery, and just kind of to get back into some of the important pieces of essential oils. So this is our pure oil, and that's 100% essential oil. So there's no carrier oil in it. A carrier oil could be anything. It can be coconut oil, it could be olive oil, anything that's going to dilute the pure essential oil. And so one of the things that's really important is that you always, if you're going to apply essential oils topically, you always want to introduce a carrier oil because it's too strong. It needs to be diluted. So one of the things that we thought was really special is that when we have a carrier oil, so we have two delivery systems for any of the products we have. So here's a pure, and then we have it as a roll-on. So this makes it really portable. You don't have to get your own oil out and do all the mixing and pouring. It's all been, properly diluted. And we also took it one step further and we thought, well, gosh, if we're going to have a carrier oil, let's have the very best. Let's give it a beauty benefit. So if you're going to be using this, why not get another perk out of this whole thing? So we use jojoba oil, which is the closest to your body's natural sebum. So it absorbs more quickly. That way you're going to get the benefit of the aromatherapy and the essential oils into your bloodstream quicker. And then you also have that beauty benefit because it is hydrating and nourishing. So our roll-ons are great. They're like little multitaskers. You can, and then while we're at it, I'll just hit on the pulse point. So when you're applying it, we talked about your endocrine system and your thyroid. When you apply essentials, it's very akin to how people would apply perfume, but it starts with, I kind of go head to toe, your temples, right here, your neck, so back here, your occiput, which is the base of your neck, your wrists, your crook of your arm, behind your knee. And then also the bottoms of your feet are a really great absorption point. And that's one of my favorites. I love to just slather, especially if you've got the roll on, you don't want to use it on the bottom of your feet and then put it on your face. So I like to put it in my hand and then tap the bottoms of my feet. And one of the rituals that we really like to do, because people like rituals, they want to know, how can I incorporate this? How can I just make this a part of my day? And we like to always say infinite love and gratitude. That's one of our rituals, like when we're applying essential oils and talking about, putting good intentions in our head. So I like to take the roll on and literally make a figure 8, which is the infinite sign, and make it 8 times. And then you go ahead and you activate the oils and warm them up and rub your hands together 8 times. And then take nice, deep 8 breaths, in and out. And that's how you're activating the oils. You're just taking that moment to calm down, reset, So we like to do that 8 times a day. So if you do it the first thing when you wake up, in between each meal, and then before bed and at bed, you're literally, it's like the infinite possibilities are, that's one of our favorite rituals. And you can do that with any oil, and you can literally do it. One of the things that we feel is so important, essential oils are amazing, but it's your breath. That's your life force. And essential oils, you're really tapping into your breath. And if you really can just, no matter where you are, you could be in your car, you could be, walking to an important meeting. If you can really just tap into your breath, that is what's most important. And the essential oils, then, to your point, they can trigger you and put you back into a good headspace and remind yourself of, okay, I've got this, or I'm transporting myself to that beach where I calm me down. And now I can, walk into the house after a busy day at work and then, be a bright spot for my family.
Yeah, and you touched on breathing, just that intention of breath in general, and then pairing it with the essential oils. You are going to, just like you said, it's going to take you to that relaxation, that state, get you out of the sympathetic and back into the parasympathetic. I love all of that. People aren't breathing. People are not breathing. And if I told you that you could lose weight by breathing better, I'm sure people are going to start now taking advantage of actually breathing better. Well, we know that it helps with energy and sleep, but what are some of the concerns that essential oils can help with beyond sleep and energy? I'm assuming immune system, headaches, but tell us a little bit more about what your focus has been with the actual concerns that they can help with.
So, like I said, when we started with the 4 daily rituals. And for Jill and I, when we started Campo, we felt that there was so much information. And when you go online and you Google, what's aromatherapy, what is essential oils, you get so many different answers. And it's, it can be a little bit of a dry read, and it can be it feels intimidating. So we wanted to take the intimidation factor out of it and really simplify things. And we felt like as we gained people's trust and as people started to feel better and have more joy in their life because they were feeling better, then we could start to layer on more and educate them more and really be a source of education. And that's what we're doing at our website. We actually have an area there for Essential Oils 101. So if there's anything I didn't cover today, or if I skipped over something a little bit too much, you can always dive back there. And the other thing that we have as a resource is every single ingredient that is in any of our blends. We have an ingredient garden. So you can literally go in and you can look up any of the essential oils. And we did it more in a way that's kind of like if Vogue did an essential oil Bible. So it's fun. It's got quotes. It's visual. And then if you want to take a deeper dive, then you can dive into it. So we really wanted to make it accessible. So again, when we started, we had our 4 daily rituals. From there, we said, okay, that's kind of an ethos and a way of life. Now, what about the natural remedies, the pain points that people have? We have headaches, we get congested. So we went from head to toe and looked at the different pain points. And so we have Crown for headaches. We have Breathe to open up your chest. We have a whole mama collection for when you're pregnant. We have the sleep remedy. That's from our daily ritual. So those are some of the biggest pain points. We have a detox. That's another big one. So that was a natural remedy collection. And in fact, my husband, Justin, he works with a lot of athletes and a lot of kids also that come in with concussions. And so he's had a lot of great success using our Crown essential oil and just reinvigorating the nervous system and reactivating it with the Crown essential oil. And so he'll have kids come in that have fallen off their e-bikes and have had a constant headache for an hour or for a month. And they'll leave like, I feel pain-free now. I haven't had this relief in over a month. So hearing testimonials like that is really, gratifying for us. And so in addition to sleep's probably one of the biggest pain points for people. I would say Relax and Sleep are our biggest hero products in terms of sales when you look at people's pain points. And again, getting back to sleep is just, it's the biggest, best ritual that you could, give yourself. And so in addition to the essential oils and that ritual of winding down, I know you had a lot on I think your last guest had a really great segment on sleep. I actually listened to that and touching on that piece of it. So we have a great blog on that talks about, turning down the lights and, getting yourself ready for bed is a really important ritual, just as waking yourself up in the morning is an important ritual. In fact, you talked about coffee. Instead of turning on the coffee maker in the morning, I just hit the energy and on the diffuser, and it's like Cinderella, the birds start chirping, everyone starts getting out of bed. And so it really is, it's just a good trigger. And getting back to more of the pain points, I think the headache is another huge one. And that really helps also because all of us are, with tech neck and this tension. So, you look at kids right now, they're going to end up having dowager humps because everyone's down like this. So just taking those mini breaks in the day, the rituals to just, whether it's the crown, whether it's any of the daily rituals, to just reset. And, if I really had a wish for everybody, it would be when you do these rituals is you take a step outside and just reconnect, get connected, grounded, fresh air. If it's sunshine, that's such a wonderful, if you can just get even a minute of vitamin D and do your little daily ritual, step away from your desk, get outside. I feel like that really helps connect. And then also it's going to help trigger you so that when you do breathe, your body's going back to those memories and you're just rewiring yourself to have better habits.
You just are speaking my language because, and I'm going to touch on some of the other hacks that you can incorporate in addition to the essential oils that help with sleep. But I track my sleep with my Oura Ring, and my sleep without fail over the last 3 months has been above 92 on my Oura Ring and has been at the 97, 98, which is the highest it's ever been in my life. And so I have gotten it in sync, and that sleep is more important than diet, than supplements, than exercise, than anything else. If you are not recovering, if that brain is not getting that clear kind of that wash during your sleep to recover, your muscles to recover, you are going to be a mess. And none of this other stuff works. So you touched on diffusers. Can you just talk a little bit about how that's a little different? Essential oils, diffusers, and how they work.
Right. So the diffusers that we offer we consider them like little pieces of art because we wanted something that could literally land in anyone's home and elevate the environment. So whether you have contemporary furniture, if you're more traditionalist and classicist, whether it's at your office, in a boardroom, in a children's room, they're just beautiful, simple, elegant little pieces of art. And so the diffuser is a great way, especially if you're just starting your essential oil journey, is that it's very passive. You don't have to do anything. And it's like a great swap for candles. And I'm not bashing candles. I'm just saying, especially if you have children and you're worried about flames and things of that nature. The other thing that's really beautiful about swapping a diffuser for a candle is that you're not burning synthetics in your home. So you literally, with the essential oils, you're cleansing the air naturally. So it's very simple. In fact, I can let me just get one right here. So with the essential oils, like this is the outer housing. The inner housing is PBA-free plastic. And what you want to do, an important thing for any diffuser you're using, put the water in first, because if you put the oil in first, you're going to gunk up the inner housing. So that's kind of a number one if we're talking about essential oils 101. Water first, oil second. I know that sounds super basic, but you wouldn't believe how many people don't think about that. It's just, you think it would be common sense, but water, then oil. And then you literally plug it in, and our diffuser has two operational modes. You can turn it on once and it'll run continuously for about 3.5 hours, depending on the electrical pull in your home. And then we have a second setting where it can be intermittent. So it'll go on and off for like 5 hours. So it's great. And it has an auto shut off. You can use it before bed. You don't have to think about it, especially with the sleep one. It's got a little night light on there, a couple different modes of it. So it kind of gives you that, the ambiance of a candle without the candle, and the steam coming out of it is so beautiful. And it's a ultrasonic, so there's no heat with it. And that's another thing that's important. You don't want to heat your oils. Another thing that I think is really beautiful to point out about our essential oils, and then just storing your essential oils in general. You can't see here in this light, but this looks like a black glass bottle. It's actually violet glass. And in the beginning, when I talked about intention and purpose, everything we do at our company has intention and purpose. Our packaging, we wanted to be really modern and cool, so that it would rest above the counter instead of below the counter. That way you'd be more apt to reach for it. Like if your vitamins are hidden, you forget to take them. Same with your essential oils. So we want it so pretty that it'd be like next to your beautiful Chanel or whatever you have on your countertop or in your kitchen. It would complement it. But the violet glass that we use has a real purpose. So the violet glass not only harnesses the natural energetic properties of the oils, it also blocks any of the harmful UV rays. So it helps with the shelf life. So that's something that's really important. So ideally, if you don't have a dark glass jar like this, then you'd want to store it in a cool, dark place. That'll help the shelf life of it. But most pure essential oils, if there's not a carrier oil with it, will last a couple years. And they really have a long shelf life. When you have a carrier oil introduced, the carrier oils are the ones that will go rancid. They're not going to spoil. It's just, have you ever opened up olive oil that's been sitting too long? It's just, you can smell that rancidity. Yeah. That's what will turn first. And when you have a carrier oil, that usually will last about a year.
Amazing. I love it. Well, we are embarking on Valentine's Day next week. And is there any essential oil blend that you have to increase or improve hormonal balance in a female or male, increase libido? In my business, estrogen dominance is a problem. All of the issues that go along with perimenopause and menopause, and libido is one of them.
Well, funny you should say that. We actually just launched a product called Desire. And we really wanted to take the stigma away from sexual. We wanted to focus on sexual wellness. Like, how can we enhance that? And we thought this was a really beautiful way to do that. And so we've put together the most intoxicating, sensual blend that really is to help with intimacy, to increase arousal, to increase pleasure. And you can take. It's sold as a pure, so you can add that to your favorite carrier oil or pure. We actually also have a bespoke, it's a plain carrier oil. It's a body oil. So it looks like this, and it's unscented. So you can add any of our essential oils to it, and then you can use it from head to toe. But we felt that was a really special and fun blend, and it was really timely because life gets busy. You've got kids, you have job, you have responsibility to community, to work, and we really wanted to create something that was special, that really let whether you're giving yourself self-love or it's love between intimacy with a partner. So we had a lot of fun with that, and we had a really great response with it as well. And in addition to that one, we have one called Love. So the Love one we created more as connecting to your heart and connecting to your mind, but that's also another beautiful way to love. And with Valentine's Day coming, another fun little hack trick is that you can take a cotton ball and you can put any of your favorite essential oils on it. But of course, you could put Desire or Love on a cotton ball and then put it in a plastic bag with some stationery, like a love note. And then it's going to enhance, instead of spraying it with perfume, you're literally doing aromatherapy to your stationery. And then when you send that love note to your betrothed or even to your mom, it has like just that, special scent. You can use the same cotton ball trick and just put them in your lingerie drawer, your sock drawer, in your car. So that's another fun little tip that we love to, just make things smell better all the time.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to have to try that one. Well, Jess, thank you so much. Can you tell people where they can find you and follow you on social media?
Yes, absolutely. So you can find us. Our website is campobeauty.com. And all of our social media handles are exactly the same. That's Campo Beauty. And you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of them.
Amazing. I'm going to be definitely diving into some of these blends because you have made it less scary and much more approachable. So thanks for joining us, Jess. And I wanted to talk about, yes, sleep. I'm always talking about the importance of sleep and how we just learned about how essential oils can help with sleep. But what are the side effects of sleep? Or not sleeping, not waking? Yes, you can actually gain weight without eating anything from not sleeping. You're going to have brain fog. You're going to accelerate your aging. You're going to disrupt your hormones. You're going to be more depressed and have anxiety. You're actually going to increase your appetite just by not sleeping, increase that insulin resistance and the risk of diabetes, increase inflammation, losing that testosterone and growth hormone. And us women, we have more testosterone than estrogen. We just don't have as much as men do. We need that testosterone. That's the get shit done hormone, as Dr. Amy Horniman says. And you can't lose that body fat when you're not sleeping. And there are a lot of side effects to the sleep aids. You're actually not even increasing your sleep by more than 8 minutes. And you're actually producing this type of sleep amnesia that you forget that you had a bad night of sleep. Okay, so what am I doing different in the last couple months that has changed my sleep? Number one, you have to get out of the mindset that I'm going to be anxious because I'm not sleeping, right? So that's number one. And you need to create a routine, and that routine has to be consistent. I wake up at the same time on Saturday and Sunday that I do during the week, because then it gives me energy for the whole week instead of actually feeling rested one day. But when you sleep in on that Sunday morning, you feel good, but you feel kind of groggy and lazy for that rest of the day, because you're not taking advantage of that cortisol bump right up when your clock says that you should wake up. A lot of people aren't sleeping because they're low in electrolytes. So I love the Olaloa, the quintessential 0.9, and then of course the accelerated ancient salt. They give you the potassium and the magnesium and the other essential electrolytes in addition to the vitamins and minerals that balance your nutrition and lower your pulse rate so you can sleep. And you can also increase your potassium and magnesium intake through some of the right vegetables, not the ones with oxalates or sulfur, and the wild animal proteins. In addition, magnesium helps maintain GABA and calms the nervous system down. So I always love taking the magnesium breakthrough before bed with my accelerated detox powder. And then I can also add in the new sleep breakthrough, which has been a part of the game changer for me. I also use the accelerated keto. Now, why is this helping with my sleep? Well, it's helping lower your insulin resistance, your blood sugar, and cleansing the liver on a daily basis. If you are waking up between 2 and 4 in the morning, that is your liver screaming at you saying, I need a liver cleanse. Well, we need to be doing those liver cleanses 3 to 4 times a year, but the accelerated keto is cleansing the liver on a daily basis. By following a low carb diet and prioritizing the wild animal protein, you're stabilizing your blood sugar 24 hours a day. So it's not just about what you're eating before bed, it's what are you intaking throughout the whole day. And the accelerated keto is giving you that stable, non-jittery energy throughout the day. So you abstain from the afternoon stimulants. I talked about caffeine in the podcast yesterday. And we need to stay away from that second dose of caffeine in the afternoon, because it has a half-life of 12 hours. So if you're having a monster drink or an iced tea and it's 3 in the afternoon, that could be disrupting your sleep. The accelerated keto is also reducing your stress, which increases GABA in the brain and calms it down, helps you relax and get out of that fight or flight state that so many are suffering from. And then you're going to stay away from the sugar and carbs that not only take you on a roller coaster of energy, but cause leaky gut, compromise the production of the relaxation and happy hormones in the gut. And then you've got the My Vital C, and this is not vitamin C. The one thing that I noticed right when I started taking it was essentially I was sleeping better. And this was before the LifeWave patches. This was before any of these other sleep supplements I was taking. It improves the quality of sleep, boosts the immune system, has many anti-aging and anti-inflammatory effects, and has been shown to increase your lifespan by 90%. But what is a big part of that is the fact that you're sleeping better, and sleep is going to increase lifespan. You've got the Aloe Vita patch. I love the LifeWave patches, and there's a combination. Yes, there is the Silent Nights patch, but when someone comes to me and says, I'm not sleeping, what patches do you recommend? I recommend the Aloe Vita patch, the Eon patch, the X39, and the Silent Nights. Those four is magic. And I put the Aloe Vita right in the middle of my forehead. It helps with skin and wrinkles. It is a body and skin regeneration patch that works through the elevation of a peptide to work on those things, but it also helps with sleep, increases mental clarity and focus, stimulates the frontal lobe and the pineal gland, and helps with regulating hormones. Then you've got the Eon patch, where that is anti-inflammatory, anti-stress. The happy patch, it takes you out of that fight or flight mode within 20 minutes into that rest and digest. So whether you wear it during the day or at night, and you can play around with it. I sometimes like to wear it on my face as well. So I've got the Aloe Vita here, Eon here, or vice versa. And then I have the glutathione and the carnosine, because those are detoxifying. The glutathione's detoxifying the body, and the carnosine works on being neuroprotective. So I've got these 4 points to help with wrinkles and skin, and do a lot of work at that nighttime. But during the day, I will wear the X39 patch that's reactivating our stem cell production by elevating the GHK copper peptide, and it elevates, resets over 4,000 genes. That is the number one patch to start with. And I wear it during the day, so I don't necessarily wear that at night, but it helps my sleep. And then, like I mentioned, the sleep breakthrough is a pre-bed drink designed to maximize your sleep efficiency without melatonin. Melatonin shrinks testicles. Let me say that again. Melatonin supplements shrink testicles. So what else is it doing to the body? I don't even want to know. And most melatonin supplements are in way too big of dosages. So we want to try to sleep without supplementing with a melatonin. So the sleep breakthrough does that. It's now available at Accelerated Health Products, but it enhances GABA. It quiets the monkey brain, and then it also maximizes deep sleep, stimulates delta, improves the deep sleep cycle. That's something else I've noticed on my Aura ring, is that my deep sleep is getting to be a lot longer. And then I combine that with the magnesium breakthrough, which is needed for muscle repair, for restless leg syndrome, over 600 biochemical reactions in the body, but most of us, 80% of the population, is deficient in magnesium. The detox powder helps soak up all the toxins from the day, helps balance the digestive system, and really helps put you to sleep as well. Don't eat before bedtime. I always try to not eat for 3 hours, and that also helps with your intermittent fasting. Breathe, as Jessica says, focus on your breath, incorporate the essential oils if you can, slow down that breath in and out as you're going to bed. Also sleep on your right side, and you want to go to bed. Liver will put weight on your heart, which could increase your heart rate and cause you to stay awake. So by sleeping on your right side, your heart is not pressured. And like I said, also eat that salt. Sleep and salt are related. Salt also helps with your blood sugar. Salt is essential to stabilize that blood sugar, supports the adrenals, and balances the electrolytes. I also have started to incorporate Dream, which is an aromatherapy that you put on your wrist and breathe in. It goes along with the patches, and that has calmed my system down and really has enhanced my sleep as well. another shout out to Aromatherapy. So there you go. I hope that has helped you understand essential oils and also sleep in general. But I'm really fascinated with the essential oils. That's part of my business that I have not really tapped into or covered because it's kind of scary. But I hope you learned from Jess and me today. And thanks for joining me. If I can help you with your health issues, you can contact me directly through the website, sarabantahealth.com. Join the free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. I teach you on a daily basis, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products and over across 100 channels under Accelerated Health Radio and TV, including iTunes, Stitcher, Pandora, iTunes, or whatever podcast platform you subscribe to. You can use coupon WELCOME10 for 10% off site-wide. Join me every Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific and Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific. And thanks again for joining us here on Accelerated Health Radio and TV. Have a great week.